You want to know a surefire way to get an experienced medical malpractice attorney to take your case? Come join me for a moment as I share with you exactly how to do that. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. All right, first, you need to be able to show that your doctor was careless, that he violated the basic standards of medical care. Second, you need to be able to show that his carelessness was a cause of your injury. It doesn't have to be the cause, it only has to be a cause. And what's the third thing? You have to be able to show that your injuries are in fact significant and or permanent. And on top of all that, you have to have a medical expert or treating physician confirm every single one of those things. That's what will get an experienced medical malpractice attorney to take on your medical malpractice case. Now, why do I say that? I say that because so many people who think they may have a valid case call up an attorney and believe that they have a true valid basis for a case. But the problem is, they don't necessarily recognize that, hey, not only do they have to show that there was carelessness or negligence, they have to show that the negligence was a cause of your injury. We call that proximate cause or causation. And then we have to show that the injuries are in fact serious. They're disabling, they're permanent, they're long-lasting. Now, why does an attorney need all that information? An attorney needs that because that is the requirement before the lawyer can ever go ahead and prepare a lawsuit on your behalf. We are required, absolutely required by law, to make sure that you do in fact have a valid basis for a case. And the only real way to do that is to gather all of your medical records, to review every single page of every record, and then to get a qualified, board-certified medical expert to review and confirm each one of those things. Only then are we permitted by law to go ahead and start the lawsuit on your behalf. So just because you think that you have a valid basis for a case doesn't automatically mean that you do. Just because you have a problem or a complication that arose as a result of some sort of medical care and treatment or some type of surgery, again, does not necessarily or automatically mean that you have a valid basis for a case. The best is when I get someone to call me and say, hey, Mr. Oginski, I have a fantastic case. My case is worth millions. Will you take on my case? And I ask them a series of questions about what occurred and what injuries they have. And now I get a sense of whether or not there's something here. And if it turns out that I don't believe there's something there, I will politely decline and say, I'm sorry, this is not the right case for me. And you would be surprised that a lot of these people who call claiming that they have a valid basis for a case and their case is worth millions, turns out just the opposite. They don't have a case, but yet they want desperately to believe they do. And so now the title of this video is, hey, how do you get a really experienced attorney who handles these medical malpractice cases in New York to actually take your case? And you may be asking, why is it that they need all of those things in order to go forward with a case? Well, that's the gatekeeper. That's the requirement in New York, okay? We have to have all of those things. Now, if you don't have significant damages and you have temporary or minor damages, again, it doesn't mean that there wasn't wrongdoing, but it's going to be very challenging for you to find an attorney who's willing to invest his time, his resources, his money in you and your case, knowing full well that at the end of the case or at some point during the course of the case, the maximum amount that he might be able to recover for you is a limited amount of money. In that instance, from a financial perspective, it may not be worthwhile for him to invest in your case to prosecute it. That's why you may find that some attorneys simply are not willing to even begin the investigation process to see whether or not your case is worthwhile. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you just to give you a sense of what you need in order to validate that you have a good case, to show that you have a valid case, and to try and get an experienced attorney to take on your case. And I do recognize that you're watching this video because you likely have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York, but you have not yet started a lawsuit and are thinking about bringing a case and have questions about whether or not you do in fact have a valid basis for a case, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I answer questions like yours every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. Well, that's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a fantastic day.